Hey guys, John here, and I've just got back from the Qbrick factory tour with this Qbrick 1 box. This is their HD model in red, one of their organisers, and it's a tough old toolbox this. It takes a beating. The polycarbonate lid can take a whack. We've already put this box to the test a few times before, and it can handle some major abuse. But in this video, we want to take it to the next level and test out dropping it from a height with something delicate inside. We initially thought tools, but tools are pretty inherently tough in themselves. So what's better than tools? 14-year aged Jura whiskey and 4 bottles of it. And it'll be pretty unique, this one, because I'm cutting in big items. So I'll show you how to cut shadow foam and also some top tips to make it easier and get better results. So the plan is to drop it from a height, and if it survives the fall, we're going to be sending it to the Qbrick team with a thank you card. It's quite the quirky project this week. So 3, 2, 1. Blow me neck. Right, so first step of the process is we're going to give this toolbox a major upgrade, and that is with a pair of shadow foam inserts. Now here are some I made earlier. We've got a 30mm and a 50mm red insert, and we're going to switch out the long totes that are in this organiser. Now in the Milwaukee Packout organiser, the super deep one and the D-Wall and the Flex, what they have is thin organiser will have a moulding in the middle that splits it into 3 pieces, and then the super deep organiser has a partition across the top. It kind of makes the space a little bit awkward to deal with. That is one thing I really like about the Qbrick system. They have a lot more options, and the boxes, not only are they tough and solid, but there's a lot of flexibility in what you have inside that. You're not restricted by those extra ribs, and they've got long totes for like cable ties, socket extensions, pry bars, levels, longer stuff that you can't get in most organisers, you can get in a Qbrick because they've got long totes, some short totes, they've got loads of options. But for this one, we're upgrading it to shadow foam. So we've got a 30mm and a 50mm red insert, which we're going to be using to organise the whiskey. Now we do inserts for all of the Qbrick boxes, just as we do inserts for every power toolbox on the market. Every single brand, you can find the inserts for the cases at shadowfoam.com. Select the brand like D-Wall or Qbrick, you can scroll through all the different toolbox models, find yours, and then you can pick inserts in 30mm, 50mm, and in a huge variety of colours. These are currently £44 each, that's what I paid for them, and they're going to be a gift for the Qbrick team if they can survive the fall. I thought 14 years was a pretty apt number because this year is 14 years of shadow foam, and I thought also some Scotch whiskey was the best thing to send the very hospitable team. So one is for Jackosh, the owner of Qbrick, one is for Lucas, the UK sales director, Marcin, the overall sales director, and Bart, the brand manager. They are the 4 key Qbrick team members that really made the trip special. They were a very hospitable team, and not only did they show us around the factory, but they also took us out in Krakow and showed us a few of the sites, and we went out for dinner with them, and it was a great trip. So I'm going to be showing you how to cut shadow foam inserts and sharing a couple of top tips along the way.
Hey there guys, cameraman Matt here, and I just thought I'd take a brief pause from the video to talk to you about today's sponsor, Geekom. Now Geekom are a set of mini PCs, and they've happily sent us along 3 of their A5 mini PCs to help us set up the CNC area of our new build. Now if you've been seeing the new unit build, click up there and you can see all of the videos about how we've completely transformed this unit and implemented various machines to help make production much faster here at Shadow Foam. So I'm here at the CNC unit, and this is where we make all of our custom inserts that you can order on the website, link up here. Now that everything's fed through these 2 machines, so that the CNC blade cuts every order accurately as and when it's placed by the consumer. Now these 2 are hooked up to 2 PCs that we've had for a long time here at Shadow Foam, and I thought it was about time that we supercharge and superpower both of these units, knowing that our business is growing and we are constantly getting more and more custom orders. And that is where Geekom came in with their A5 mini PC. Let's unbox it and I'll show you. So let's open it up, and as you can see, I'm using my quick change blade. You can get this from topnotchtools.co.uk. We're currently running a buy 2 get a third free. It's a quick change knife, very useful, very handy, feels good in the hand. But if we open up our box here, you can see we have our A5 Geekom unit. There we go, little beauty right there. And again, the thing that I'm taken away by straight away is just how light it feels. It's definitely a mini PC in every sense of the word. So let's just rip open the packaging there. Away you go. And let's open it up and see what we get inside. Ooh, it's like the Ark of the Covenant, isn't it? So we can just open it up here. Oh, it all comes away. Very nice. As you can see, here is our main Geekom unit. Again, very light, really liking the feel of this. We're going to be able to hide this very easily. It's not going to take up a lot of space. It's not going to clutter the workspace. Let's rip this open. Ah, beautiful. And what I can see straight away is we have an SD card slot and various other ports on the back. As you can see, we've got 2 HDMIs, 2 USBs, USB-C, and even a LAN port for our Ethernet, so that's going to be very useful and come in very handy. Again, very, very light. I love the design of this, very sleek. Let's see what else is in here. So we've got the instruction manual, won't be needing that. Various screws, power cable, that's very helpful, power cable, and a handy HDMI. Oh, brilliant, so we can get this plugged in straight away. And even a handy NAS plate as well, so we, if we wanted to mount it to the wall, we'd have the option to do so. So here we go, we've just got it set up, and it was very user-friendly to set up. All it was a case of plugging in the HDMI cable in the back, plugging in the power cable, knocking it into the monitor, and it started pretty much immediately. Now it's got Windows 11 pre-installed on the machine, so it loaded up straight away, and we were able to get the software loaded in just minutes. It was very, very user-friendly, and it doesn't take up a lot of space here. Now we are going to transition it down into this cabinet so it will be officially out of the way, but for the sake of this demonstration I thought it would just be a lot easier to have it out in the open so I could talk about it more clearly. In terms of power, this is a major upgrade. This unit has 16 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of internal storage. It's got a metal inner frame and a metal bottom cover design with a durable UV coating. The casing is solid and drop resistant, and it also looks quite stylish and wear resistant. Now Geekom uses a full metal middle frame and bottom cover, making the body extremely sturdy. It can withstand up to 200 kilograms of pressure, and it won't easily break even if dropped from a desk, which is something that I often do. Compared to soft plastic casings used by many others, this design offers better protection, resists deformation, and prolongs the product lifespan, so it's a real upgrade that's going to last the test of time. There's a 3-year warranty, and a very special feature that really made it a key asset for me to want to install was that it's able to keep running even upon taking a 6,000 volt static hit. So that is one of the many reasons why we're so happy to be partnering with Geekom for this video and implementing their machines into our CNC use. Back to the video.
Now the first little trick to make sure I get a really nice layout, everything's equal and everything's lined up, is to use some masking tape and create a really simple grid. So all I have to do is take some basic masking tape, any masking tape will do. We literally are just having the width of the masking tape gap at the bottom. And if we line all the bottles up nice and square to that, we'll have them all perfectly in line. We can also do the exact same thing at the top of the bottles to make sure that they all line up top and bottom. And the same left to right. The actual space in between the bottles doesn't matter too much as long as it's equal, but there is plenty of room left to right. There's loads of room. What we do really want is that the gap along the bottom and the side is the same. So I'll also run a quick strip of masking tape down the left and the right hand side. And by doing this, I don't even need to get a tape measure. I can literally just lay the bottles out and start cutting immediately. So once I've got my first bottle in position, all I'm going to use is a scalpel with a sharp blade. Now I'll be using a scalpel that comes in our cutting kits. These come free with most orders at shadowfoam.com, and in that kit you also get some anti-cut gloves. I usually wear a glove on my non-dominant hand, which is holding the object, because that's the hand in harm's way basically. I'll be holding the bottle with that, and then I'm just going to be trace cutting around the bottle, and at this point I'm literally just capturing the silhouette on the foam. I'm not cutting very deep at all, I'm just getting that profile. And I'm just holding the scalpel perpendicular to the foam, square to the edge of the bottle, to just get a nice straight cut and just capture that profile as accurately as I can. Once we've done that, we can take the item out of the way. And then this is the one simple trick. We are cutting all the way through. Now the pieces that I remove, I'm going to save to one side. I'm going to show you a really simple way to bond the two layers together, make sure they're stuck fully all the way around, and you're not going to have to worry about masking off. So let me cut all the way through, and then that's the first bottle done. And you can see that is the first item done. Now we're going to use the exact same technique on the other side. And it's always best to start with the edges because I can get those perfectly lined up and then I can split the difference in the middle. So, same again on the left-hand side. So that is the second one done, and as you can see I've got my left and right nice and evenly matched, and it's a lot easier now to get the center position for these two. And I just want a nice even gap. I want the bottles to be square. I've got my grid lines top and bottom to make sure they are nice and evenly spaced, and then I'm going to use the exact same technique to cut those in, and again we're cutting all the way through. So the insert is already looking a lot better, but I've not quite finished cutting yet because I do need to add some sort of finger pull to get the bottles in and out. These bottles fit perfectly now, but obviously I want to glue a base layer on this. I want to put it in the case, and I don't really want somebody having to tip the case up to get the bottle out. I want them to be able to get the bottle out nice and easily, and I think it's a natural kind of go at the neck here. So all I'm going to need is one of our stencil kits and a ruler, and essentially I'm going to be going for a semicircle either side of the bottle spout basically, and I'll probably go halfway down just so it looks nice, and we'll go for a 30mm hole. So we'll go for 30 centimeters down off the top of the stencil. I'm just going to cut a semicircle there, and I'm not going to cut all the way through the foam. I don't think that's quite necessarily. We just need to go about halfway. And to get a really nice quick finish, instead of peeling it, I can just use one of our smoothing spinners, go down about halfway, put it in any drill. I've got it in a little impact gun here, spin that up, and you can see I've got a perfectly flat finish, and I can do the same on both sides. Right, so that's the first one done. Let me do the other three. So there we go, that is all of the finger pulls cut, that is all of the foam cutting done and all of the foam finishing done, and that's all the hard part done, and even then it wasn't very hard. It was pretty quick, pretty easy. I think I've been on this for like 10 minutes probably tops. And now we get to the one trick which makes this whole process really top quality finish. This is the base layer. By putting that there, you can see already we've got a really good quality insert. How do we stick the two together? Well, we use shadow foam spray adhesive. Now, to get really good adhesion on this, it's really important that you get glue on both sides. And you may be thinking, how am I going to get all that glue evenly spread on here with a spray can without getting glue on the inside? You do not want glue on the inside of these inserts because they're going to stick to the bottle and they're going to make the bottles all sticky. They're not going to look good. They're not going to come out of the insert. Well, that is why we saved all of these little badges over here. We saved them all because now we can go back through and put them all back in. And what they are essentially doing is protecting and masking off the foam. We don't have to worry about overspray. With all of those back in there, I can spray freely all over the sheet and then take these inserts back out. For the other side, something you have to be aware of is we don't want to get glue on the base of where the bottle's going to go. So for that, I have another tip. But one thing at a time, let's cover this in glue. Now, once the glue is a little bit tacky, it's not quite tacky yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Now, we have to have glue on both sides really for it to stick properly. So let's stick that down on there. And now we can lift our top layer off. We have to be really quick with this because it's really important that everything stays tacky. So we can lift this off, keep all of those on the foam. I can use that as a little spacer to make sure they're all in the right position. And now we can go back round and put glue in the negative space. Now we can move the bottles out of the way and you can see no glue is on the base foam there. We've got lovely clean areas. This is tacky. Let's place it on nice and quick. And I can feel they have immediately grabbed really, really solid. And that is it. That is a perfect insert, and then all of these can stick together. They can all go in my recycling. And that is a perfect insert. That is a really nice smooth bottom. The bottles are going to fit. I can get a little bit of a wipe and just wipe around the edges. I'll do that now actually. And there we have it. That is the insert all glued together. I've got a tiny bit of overspray on the outside here. As long as you let that fully dry, it won't be sticky down the side of your case. You can see the bottoms of the inserts are perfectly clean. The top's all nice and clean, and we've got a really good, strong bond there all the way around, even on these tiny little baffles that are like in between the bottles. All we've got to do now is put the whiskey bottles in there, They are fitting absolutely lovely in there. That is perfect. And hopefully the guys at Qbrick are all happy with a bottle of jaw each. 14-year-old. Let's pop it in the case. I can't think of a safer way to ship 4 Scotch whisky bottles than in shadow foam in a Qbrick red case. Right, so I've finished cutting all of the foam and organising the bottles of whisky in the case. They're all safely stowed inside this case, and we're going to drop it from the room above the set. It's going to be a 3.8 metre drop, and we'll see. We'll see if it survives. To be honest, this is higher than I thought, actually. I thought it feels like this is a proper heavy-going test. So, right, 3.8 metres drop test, 4 bottles of £44 whiskey, over £180 worth of whiskey. Let's hope that these survive the drop. 3, 2, 1. Blow me neck. That, fair play, that looks pretty promising. Let's go and check it. Right, let's give it a look. We can see it looks okay from this side. That is flipping awesome. I was actually a bit worried then. 1 bottle perfect. 2 bottles perfect. 3 bottles perfect, and for a full house, what a job that is. That is amazing. So shadow foam and Qbrick HD boxes is the ultimate solution to protect your gear, because that, I don't think there is a truer test than that. That is pretty amazing. Right, next stop for this case is the Qbrick factory and the Qbrick team in Poland. So big thanks to the Qbrick team for hosting us at the factory. If you've not seen the factory tour by now, go and check it out, because it's really, really interesting behind the scenes look at how they make these toolboxes from start to finish. And it was a fascinating insight. I really loved it. And if you want to buy a Qbrick toolbox, we sell the entire range of Qbrick boxes in black and red at topnotchtools.co.uk. That is my brand new website for tools and toolboxes that aren't currently fully available in the UK. So we've got Magnum tools, Rapid Edge tools, and the full Qbrick lineup. So go and grab yourself a Qbrick system, and for every £150 you spend on Qbrick toolboxes, you're also going to get £25 worth of shadow foam vouchers to get your boxes decked out in shadow foam. So there is no better time to upgrade your system to a Qbrick and upgrade the Qbrick boxes with shadow foam inserts. So thanks for watching the video. I'm pretty happy with that test. I'll see you in the next one.
Now before we finish up, I just wanted to have one quick last moment to talk about this video's sponsor, Geekom. Now we've just seen me install 2 of these over at the CNC unit at the workshop, but I wanted to take this home and show you some extra uses that the Geekom can do for you. Let's go. So I got it home and unboxed it and connected it to my TV through the HDMI, and this is what I saw. It connected to the Wi-Fi in no time, but I did know it has this Ethernet port on the side on the machine as well. It's like a mini PC really. I've converted my home TV to a mini PC. This device means I can work on the last few jobs that I take home with me every day without having to be hunched over my computer or a desk. Here I am sat in my armchair with my Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, checking my emails, working on some spreadsheets, and just the other general admin work that goes into what I do here at Shadow Foam. For anyone who likes working from home, this is a real game changer. Naturally, as the evening went on, I was looking for a bit of entertainment, and the Geekom again played YouTube videos flawlessly. The HDMI cable transferring 4K footage and the 16GB onboard RAM had no problem with it whatsoever. Same again when we played the film on Netflix. I was very impressed. Naturally, the part of my work I was most curious about was the video editing, so I tried to try that out as well. Adobe downloaded no problem, and I inputted all the footage for this week's vlog so far. I didn't really notice any issues with the rendering or export times. In fact, the real seal of approval for me really is that I managed to edit this video at home with the Geekom mini PC. What a great piece of kit. And with the device's small size and easy installation, I see no reason why I can't pop this in my go bag and take this on my next tool tourism trip and connect it to the hotel's TV. Join it up with my VPN and take advantage of all the streaming channels that open up to you when you're in other countries. Big thanks to Geekom for sponsoring this video. If you're a bit of a home tech DIY kind of guy looking to upgrade their PC systems, I would highly recommend checking this out in the link in the description and seeing what Geekom can do for you.